Welcome back to the Stick 'em Up podcast. Brundi, we are back. We took a week-long break there. We missed 2 episodes. That one's on me. I got sick at a really unfortunate time there, which took me out of commission for up until now, and you can probably still hear it a little bit at this point, but it's much better, believe me, than it was a week ago. So we're good enough to continue doing the podcast here, and thank God, because I do want to talk about the NHL season that's been going on so far. It has been really entertaining to watch so far. There's all kinds of stuff going on. A lot of good rookies stepped into big roles for a lot of teams as well. We got a lot to talk about here, but I will leave it up to you. Where do we want to start off?
Well, before we dive in and start talking about the regular season, obviously, this past weekend was the real Thanksgiving, that being Canadian Thanksgiving. So it kind of worked out for us. We got to take a little extra days off and enjoy a little vacation, a little reset, and now we are fully ready to go here and dive into the 2025-26 NHL season. I think before we get into talking about what's going on the ice and everything around the regular season, let's start off with the kind of off ice stuff, and that being some more contract signings, as everything is starting to roll out now for that. So I think that's a good spot to start here for it. And Don, hit us with the first one here. Take your pick of any of these big ones here that we got.
You know what? Let's just go right down the list, the order we have them. The first one we have here is Matthias Ekholm signing a 3-year extension at $4 million AAV with the Oilers. That's a really good deal for the Oilers. Like, Ekholm's getting up there in age, injury issues, sure, but I mean, for what he's done for the team, he could easily ask for 7 or 8 for that same term. And if they don't give it to him, I think there's a good chance another team would. So I think, similar to McDavid, I think that's a bargain that the Oilers are getting. And man, they're saving a lot of money on a couple players now. They need to get a goalie. Like, it's been said to death, but
Yeah, I'm right there with you. If Ekholm went to free agency, probably could have made more money. But at the same time, if he wanted to go out and still get 6.5 to 7.5, somewhere in that range, he's probably not signing that with a cup contender, or at least a team that isn't right there, in the mix, like your Edmontons, your Dallas, your Florida, and so on. So for him, I mean, it's $4 million, still a nice nice salary for him, and again, it helps keep him in Edmonton, where again, back-to-back cup finals. So he gets to keep going and chasing a cup with Edmonton, still gets a nice pay, and he is getting up there in age, so we'll see how this contract plays out here, but at least in next year for sure, and probably the year after, it is going to be great value for Edmonton, and they're building they're kind of starting to all fall into that line of guys are taking a little bit of a discount from what they probably should be making, because they are, again, all bought in on winning a cup this year, and that's this all helps go towards it.
It was really interesting because we saw it last offseason. They brought in all these guys that, they extended a lot of guys for like 1 year, where it was like they're coming back for 1 year for 1.2 mil, 1 mil. Like, they were getting so many bargains on all their depth guys. Now they're starting to get bargains on a lot of their important pieces. And I think that's going to be a big difference maker for them. Like, especially obviously with the McDavid deal, with him staying at that salary for another 2 years after this one, I just can't see this team not winning a cup in that time. They've almost done it twice with Stuart Skinner as the goalie. If they go out and get any goalie who is even sniffing around the elite conversation, like, it should be a slam dunk.
Yeah, one would think, and again, we've been saying it for years. Everyone's been saying it for years. The goaltending issues in Edmonton, they've yet to address that issue. So maybe that'll be coming down the road here for them. Uh, but hey, this is another good piece locked up here, and they're continuing to build something that could be very special there in Edmonton for sure.
Yeah.
The next extension we got here, pretty big one, kind of one we knew was coming eventually, and now we know that it is official. Jack Eichel signing a 8-year extension to stick around in Vegas, $13.5 million per year. What are your thoughts here on Jack Eichel and his new contract?
It looks like he's about to have the best season of his career, and he just signed this. Like, I believe he's currently leading the league in points. And man, like, that's matching 8-year contracts for Mitch Marner and Jack Eichel. That's a really nice top two forwards to be locked in that long on currently, right now, very reasonable deals. As the cap goes up, those are going to go from discounted to bargain to sweetheart deals. Like those are going to look so
Absolutely.
good in the back 4 years. Like a lot of the time the later years are where it kind of looks rougher on a contract, but that's where these are going to look better, frankly. Like
Could look even better, absolutely. Yeah. Um,
I assume he
Eichel,
has a
top
full no
15
move with
player
that.
in the league. Yeah, I would assume so. I don't have the full details pulled up, but I assume it's yeah. He's got a lot of protection there to um, keep him around in Vegas, and yeah, I mean he's already off to a great start this season. We know what he's
Yep.
done in
Full no
previous
move
years,
the entire way through. Doesn't drop
entire
off
way
at
through.
all.
Yeah, so he ain't leaving Vegas. Um, yeah, not a whole lot of other things I'd say than just it's a great deal for both sides. The player gets paid very well, no tax obviously, and yeah, Vegas is able to use a bit more of that money from Pietrangelo, who probably isn't going to play again ever in the NHL, and if he does, probably not on Vegas at this point. Um, so they're
Yeah.
using their money wisely and keeping Eichel around. So can't say much more than just great deal on both sides.
Is Mark Stone their captain?
Yeah,
Do you think Eichel gets the C once they move on from Mark Stone or
yeah.
he
Oh,
retires or
absolutely,
whatever happens?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance of that. He's 28 right now. There's an 8-year extension, so that goes for 9 years. So like they've got him till he's 37. Like, yeah, basically 38 because he turns his birthday is late October. Yeah, this is a great deal. This kind of defines the future of the team, obviously as the number one center
Yeah,
and
that's exactly it.
guy who was able to put them over the edge to win a cup as well. They weren't quite able to get over that hump despite bringing in superstar after superstar. Or, you could even argue, all-star after all-star, but then they brought in a superstar in Jack Eichel and all the pieces fall together after that.
That's what got it done. They're now one of the biggest destinations players continuously seem to want to go to, despite what the reports may say. But Vegas stays winning right now, and that's not going to change anytime soon by the looks of it.
It might change when we're talking about him later in the podcast, but we'll leave
Well,
that
yeah,
till a later part.
yeah. Well, we'll come to that point eventually here. Next extension, Kyle Connor. We were very, very vocal that he was not leaving. Winnipeg always seems to find a way to keep guys around. People may not want to go to Winnipeg, but those who are in Winnipeg, they don't want to leave, and that holds true here. Kyle Connor signing an 8-year extension with the Winnipeg Jets for $12 million per year. It's a great. I really like this one for both sides. I think with the way things have kind of been going, Kyle Connor probably could have even gotten more money.
Yeah,
But hey, you know what? Keeping him there for 8 years, 12 million. That is your best player, outside Connor Hellebuck, obviously. But in terms of a forward or
best skater.
defenseman,
Yeah,
yeah. So 12 million. That's only going to continue to look better as time goes on, as the cap goes up, as we keep saying. I like it. And
Yeah.
good for Winnipeg for not waiting around too long with this. They got it done, and now
Yeah.
that's not anything they have to worry about. He is locked in now for 9 years with the team.
This
It's pretty important.
basically, like, there might be a little bit of it at the end, kind of comparing it to guys like, maybe a Joe Thornton or an Iginla, but like for all intents and purposes, this basically makes him a Jet for life. He might have a few years at the very twilight where he moves around, but uh, yeah, this is going to take him, very similar. He's 28 right now. That's another 9 years. Takes him till he's 37. He's Yeah, they needed to keep him, and I definitely think he could have got more money. Like he's got the argument of like being a. Has he ever hit 50 goals? I know he's hit
No,
40 several times. Probably got
yeah,
close
no,
to 50.
he was
Yeah,
close the one year. I think
I think he had.
47.
That sounds accurate. I think he had 99 points last year, and he's done all this without a true number one center. Um, Not to say
Yeah,
Shifley isn't a
career
number one center, but like not
career
that
high 47 goals. Career high last year 97 points.
97 points. Yeah, and he's done all that without that true superstar center as well. Like Shifley's fantastic and definitely could be a number one center on a cup winning team, I think. But if Shifley's your number one center, you're probably looking at you know, a Florida, a Vegas, a very deep team that would end up winning the cup, not an Avalanche style like riding your top guys heavy. Like he's not that 110 point center. And despite that, Connor still puts up phenomenal numbers year in, year out. And he's still very young. So this is great. And I mean, it's mostly so he can just control his destiny with the no move, but same thing as Eichel, full no move all the way through.
Yeah.
He had we've never seen anything that says anything other than he wants to be in Winnipeg. There's never been a reason to suggest other than people making shit up that he would want out of Winnipeg. Not
Yep.
everybody hates being there.
Yeah, the players who are there, they love to stick around. One more extension. We talked briefly about this last week, and from the reports that were coming out, don't know how much truth was behind them because Lane Hutson is extending in Montreal 8 years, $8.850 million per year. Took less than Jackson Lacombe and Luke Hughes did. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but here we are.
It's crazy. He seemed to want, as is absolutely his right. He seemed to want money. He seemed to want, not ludicrous money. Like he wasn't like Kaprizov trying to get every cent, but he was trying to get paid what he thought he was worth, what he would be worth after one incredible season. And just overnight, he decided, you know what? I'm not going into the season negotiating. We got to get this deal done. And he took so much less than he could have got. He also modified no trade all the way through. He didn't even get like a no move or anything. So like he didn't even max his clause, and that kept the cap hit down. Less than 9 mil. This is and right after they signed this, within a day, I believe, the general manager of the team as well got like I think it was either a 5 or 3 year extension with the
he
team
got
as
an
well,
extension too,
which makes sense given
yeah,
what he's done there.
what he's
So
been able to pull off. Absolutely. Yeah,
great
this is
deal for the team.
a great deal for the team for Lane Hutson. I mean, hey, you know what? Yeah, he could have gotten more, but when you look at the cap structure of the team, where everybody else was signing for, and the direction of the team, you take a little bit of less money here, and yeah, Montreal is going to be a wagon in the future for years to come, and Lane Hutson obviously is going to be a very important part of that team. So yeah, left some money on the table. But again, if Montreal goes on with this core to win even just one Stanley Cup, you don't give a shit then if you're Lane Hutson. You don't care
Yeah.
that you maybe are making $2 million less per year because hey, you want a cup, and at the end of the day, that's what these players want more than anything. Look at Connor McDavid, for example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very good deal for Montreal. Still a good deal for Lane Hutson. He's locked in there. He is still making, $8.85 million per year to play hockey. So,
It's
let's not
for
act
the
like, oh, poor him.
for that like lost money, like, the lost money he could have gotten. Uh he like that money is worth giving up for just the sheer amount of adoration he's going to get from the and has been getting from these Canadians fans, because like nobody would have blamed him if he, asked for and ended up getting 10, maybe even 11 if he waits partway into the season. But taking this discount and also not going into the season with it, like, Habs fans are some of the smartest fans a lot of the times in sports. Like, they just have such a storied history. They're so passionate. They're not stupid. They know he left money on the table for this team to be good and competitive, and
Yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
the goodwill that buys him with that community and everything is phenomenal. On
He's
top of the
huge.
fact that being a number one superstar defenseman for that franchise in particular, 2 mil a year, I wouldn't be shocked if over these 8 years he makes all that money back in sponsorships, like
Yeah,
commercials.
exactly, right.
There's probably several billboards with his face on them right now in Montreal. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he's making a good living, and again, this all goes back to kind of similar to what Florida's done, now Edmonton, and now even Montreal, where players are leaving money on the table to help create a better team and give uh, themselves and their team a better shot at winning down the road. So you got to respect that from the players. So good on Lane Hutson, good on Montreal, and let's see where Montreal keeps taking things this year and for years to come.
man, what's the GM's name?
Kent
Kent
Hughes.
Hughes. What a magnificent bastard! That what he's done with this team is insane. All these guys, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, all under 8 mil a year, all for 5 or more seasons. This Hutson contract. By the way, all those guys, no, zero trade protection. Like, it, obviously you don't need to, but generally, if you're getting these guys on these huge bargains, you at least have to give them some type of trade protection. Literally, not even a modified no trade on those guys. Like,
Damn.
dude, do all of them share the same like piss poor agent? Like, man,
Montreal just
that
stays winning right now.
yeah, they Caden
It is a
Gooley's
very good time
deal.
to be a Habs fan.
Caden Gooley's got making 5.5 mil up until at least 2031. Like, that's an absolute bargain. No trade protection on him either. Like, none of these guys have any trade protection. Like, phenomenal cap hits. This is crazy to look at. Like, this is that is how you build a team. They are poised to look really good. They still have cap space right now. They're getting cap space this offseason, 8.7 coming off the books with Line A. Man, they
They're
are
in a good spot right now. They're
very, very set up.
they're going to be a force in the Atlantic Division for the next decade, at least.
Man,
The
the Atlantic is set up to be a
final,
bloodbath for 5 or 6 years at least.
yeah, around
Just
there,
a
I would say, yeah.
just a mess. And then we'll see what happens with
Uh,
the Wings.
yeah, yeah, they're off to a decent start so far this year.
That is
Um,
true.
the last signing here we got before we move on into the other news surrounding the start of the season. We now know that Carter Hart has indeed signed a 2-year deal with the Vegas Golden Knights. It is around 1.8 million per year to join the team. And side note, it also is worth noting that Michael McLeod, he did sign a 3-year deal in the KHL. So no NHL return anytime soon for Michael McLeod, but for Carter Hart, we do know that he is going to the Golden Knights. And I think it's fascinating that a 2-year deal at around 1.8, that would mean that there was multiple teams in the mix. There was multiple teams that were right on the verge of signing Carter Hart. We know Vegas has been rumored to be in there for a while, but
I
if
think the
Vegas was the
Hurricanes
only
were for a
team,
bit. I think they said outright publicly that they wouldn't be signing him a week or two ago, but
yeah,
up until they said that, they were
they
heavily
were in the
rumored.
mix. But even with Caroline out, it makes you wonder that there was so many teams in the mix that Vegas felt the need to offer him a 2-year deal, and then on top of that, they went above league minimum at 1.8. Because if you're the only team that's got a shot at him, you're only giving him a 1-year deal at league minimum and say, prove yourself, and we'll go from there. But they
Yeah.
felt that they needed to up their offer to make sure that they were able to secure Carter Hart as a part of their team.
And
And
that's we're
obviously,
talking
we know
about
that
Vegas here.
it
Like
worked. So
they get free discounts on every player by being good, you know, a nice place to live, tax free, like all of those, and they still felt it necessary to give him the term and more money than
more
we
money.
definitely
Yeah.
thought he would be getting. So it is interesting. I'd love to know if other teams were in on it. Um, all of this for Carter Hart is coming out today as we are recording this. I believe it was yesterday when Aiden Hill went down with an injury in the game against the Flames, I believe it was. So I'm wondering if that happened. And it sounds like Hill's going to be fine. He's not even on IR or anything. I think he's going to be back up for the next few games. But it is interesting that happened, and very quickly they were like, okay, let's get this Hart deal signed. So maybe a
Because
little
he was only
concerns with Hill
eligible to
there.
sign as of yesterday, and
Oh, okay.
he is still not eligible to play until December 1st. So I don't exactly know what that means in terms of practices exactly. Like,
I imagine he'll be able to. If you're allowed to sign with the team, why would you not be allowed to practice with them until then? I imagine
yeah,
he can practice with them, but just not
that's
play.
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I would assume.
You can probably practice, but maybe not travel with the team. So like when they're,
Yeah.
in Vegas at home, he can practice with them, but once they go on the road, he's kind of got to do his own stuff to keep loose and whatnot. I imagine he probably isn't traveling with the team, considering he's ineligible to play and whatnot. So
Do you think they'd allow him to
um,
play as an e-bug if it came to it?
no,
Games like in Vegas,
no,
two goalies go down. No.
no, no. Yeah, he's not allowed to suit up for a game until that
Do
December
e-bugs
1st
need
mark.
a contract? I know next year they will because they're changing how it
I
works.
don't
But right now,
think they do right now. I don't think they
do
need
they
it for now.
like as soon as a goalie goes down, do they sign like a 1-day contract for no money
I don't
to be
think so.
legal, or you're just
I don't think so.
the guy who
You
steps in?
just suit up and go if called upon. You, if need be, you get your shit on. You get out there and you hope for the best. Um, we've gone into this situation surrounding these players a fair bit, including Carter Hart, Michael McLeod, etc. Um, yeah, he's going to be joining the Golden Knights. I know a lot of people are obviously uh, very unhappy with that. They believe that that these players should not have the opportunity to return. Um, all we can really say at the end of the day is they can. Whether you're
They're allowed
on
to.
one side or the other, if you believe that they can return, they can't return. At the end of the day, they can. That's all we can do. So
Yeah. The Players Association has to fight for them. If they don't, their entire integrity is compromised. That's
yeah,
literally all they exist to do. Whether
yeah.
the guys arguing for on behalf of them agree with it is unfortunately just not relevant there. Personally, I am just glad that Michael McLeod is in the KHL. Frankly, he's the one I felt strongly about. I've made that known here. So I'm glad to see him
And
off
on
our
top,
radar a
I
bit more.
mean, if anyone who is on the side of they, that they shouldn't be allowed to return and you're boycotting the league, the silver lining is Carhartt's probably the only one.
That
If
is true.
Michael McLeod is signing in the KHL, he was kind of the only other one that it kind of looked like there was
I don't even know
a
what I'd
road
never
for
even
him to
heard of the
return.
team before either. I don't know what team it was he signed with,
It's
but like
whatever team he was playing for when he went over there, when he was kind of banished from the NHL.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So he just went back to the team he was playing for. And in terms of Formanton, Foot and
Dubé.
Dubé, I don't think any of those three come
If
back.
he
Like
really,
maybe
if
Dylan Dubé, but
I
I
was gonna
think
say
even
Dubé, if
then
he
it's
really
not
applies
worth it.
himself like an AHL PTO kind of thing, like,
Yeah,
but it would be like a lot of work. The other guys, like they stopped playing professional hockey for a while. They were fringe guys to deal at that point already. A lot of them also dealt with the kind of COVID thing, so like that was holding them back. Like there's a lot of reasons
yeah,
why it would be just taking everything else out of it, skill wise, very difficult for a lot of them to get back. Who knows?
yeah.
Carter Hart might be lights out. He might put up an 820 5 games in a
And
row
Vegas would have no problem
and just never see
burying him.
NHL ice ever again.
Yeah,
It could happen.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. But
Uh,
I just wanted to throw that out there. That again,
yeah,
you know what? As shitty as that is to say, at this point, we just have to say it is what it is, and not necessarily, if you're on the opposite side, you have to accept it, but it it is what it is. That's
I
just
yeah,
where it's at now
I
with
would
this
just say
deal being
keep an open
official.
mind for it. Like they were found, they were acquitted. They were not found not guilty. They were also not found guilty. Um, but let's keep an eye on him. Does he look like a piece of shit? Does he turn around and immediately do a shit ton of charity work? I don't know. I don't know. This is 7 years removed from the incident, I believe. I think it happened in 2018. Like,
2018, yeah.
you know, it sucks, but also let's see what happens going forward. Um, I
Yeah.
did also include in our notes here. I thought it was very interesting how clearly heavily censored the team was when um, these guys all had a hand up their ass. The team was told exactly what to say in their press releases, and they all said the same thing. Um, Bruce Cassidy, the head coach, said, you know, culture of this team has been outstanding since October 1st and onward. Team has endeared itself to that in the community because of that. Jack Eichel, we have a great group of people in here, and the culture stemming from ownership and the entire organization. Mark Stone, excited to welcome him into the culture of the Vegas Golden Knights. Exciting, good goalie. Nobody said anything without first saying we're excited about the culture. Like
Yeah.
there's plenty of people already
They're
making
being
the
fed
jokes
their
all
lines.
over about the Vegas culture nights because everyone used the same exact buzzword and were very clearly told to. So,
Yeah.
and you would expect that of a multiple billion-dollar operation, right? They're not going to let these guys who some of them didn't go to post-secondary and have been taking hits to the head for 15 years. They're not just going to like let
Yeah.
them go have an open mic on this situation. They're gonna tell them what to do, but
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
that is something worth noting for sure. Within all that, but hey, you know what? We'll see how it plays out, and we'll see that yeah how it goes. I guess is the best way to put it.
yeah,
But that is all of the signings, extensions have taken place around the league. We obviously know that there is still a lot more to come. This will probably be a full ongoing thing across the entirety of the season. But again, as always, as they continue to happen, we'll continue to discuss them and give our thoughts there. But it is that time now. We are ready to review the first week of the NHL season, chat about some of the headlining news, what's been going on, and just get caught up on everything. It's been this is our first episode since puck drop of the opening night, so no better time than now to just talk about what's been going on and get caught up here.
we have quite a few different things listed here that we could talk about. I'm gonna skip around a bit because I really want to talk about this. Matthew Schaefer's first NHL goal. He's already scored it. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go watch it. I cannot believe that I didn't see this around more. You know, the clip was around, big deal. A guy scored his first goal. I thought this would be everywhere. I don't know. We were together. That was on Thanksgiving Day or the day before or something, and we were watching that out at our parents' house, and that was awesome, dude. the defense. There's a big jumble of bodies in front. The puck's loose. Like generally, the ref ends up blowing it dead, but the ref's like on top of
Yeah.
the net, looking, keeping an eye on it. He's saying it's loose. They're battling for it for like 5 solid seconds, and then this defenseman just comes flying in from the blue line, just dolphin dives and throws his stick forward. And the second you see his stick blade disappear in the massive bodies, you see the puck go flying into the net. That's awesome. I cannot believe
It's a
that I
terrific
wasn't
first
seeing it
career goal.
everywhere. Like that is such a cool first goal, especially for a defenseman to be like just beeline it
Yeah.
from the blue line. Uh,
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and on top of that, before we get into the weirdness of it, it is also worth knowing that Matthew Schaefer has been playing in an insane amount of time. He with that goal. Well, actually, I don't know about the goal, but I know for sure he got an assist in his first NHL game, and I believe that actually made him the youngest player in NHL history to record a point, or at least youngest defenseman, because he's not even a full 18 in 1 month. By that point, he was only 18 in a couple weeks, right? Like very young, and already starting to get his name there in the record books for the amount of ice time he's already currently playing. Like he is everything as advertised and more than what Islanders fans and NHL hockey fans in general could have hoped for, which is very
he's
cool to see. Great kid and making his mark on the league really quick here.
really quick. Like, uh, you know what? I guess it's good a time as any that we could tease a little bit. We've been preparing a top 50 players list, and we're preparing to put that out sometime fairly soon. So stay tuned for that. But like, he's making a solid case to already be on there. Like for my money, he's easily a top 3 player on the Islanders. He might be their best player already, and they have guys like
It's looking
Barzell,
pretty damn
Bo
good.
Horvat. It's hard to compare skaters to goalies. Um, but he looks so damn good already. Complete game, phenomenal skater. Uh, TSN was on the other day, and I was watching it, and they were like, each guy was trying to compare him to a current player, and I was like, okay, what are they going to say? Who are they going to point out? Because they love pointing out like he looks a lot like this fringe elite player or this like really good top 4 player, right? Nope, none
Yeah.
of that. First guy said Quinn Hughes. Second guy said Cale Makar. Third guy said Cale Makar. They were like, nope, this guy fucking rules. We're going to compare him to the clear cut
Yeah.
2 best in the league. Like,
He's
he,
already looking very good.
I,
And he's
I
only played
absolutely
4 games.
love, yeah. And yeah, that being said, yeah, he's played 4 games, probably almost 100 minutes of time on ice because he is minute eating at, yeah, what'd you say, like
They
18
they
years and 2
just
days? Like,
so the Islanders actually just won their first game of the season. They beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. That's a big win.
they've done it.
Matthew Schaefer. So he is still currently a point per game in NHL. 4 points in 4 games, 1 goal, 3 assists. Ice time as follows per game. His first game against the Penguins, 17 and change time on ice. Game 2, 26:04. Game 3, 26:35. And then tonight against Edmonton, 17:38.
Shelter him a bit
It's
against
not a song.
McDavid. There.
Anyways,
Was
I'm just rambling. But again, he is logging a lot of ice time early on. He obviously has
that might be the
trust
most
within the
time on
coach.
ice ever for a player in game 2.
Yeah,
26 and a half minutes in your second game. Like, other than goalies, that's got to be close to the record.
yeah.
Schaefer was, in fact, he was the youngest defenseman to record a point specifically in his NHL debut. Um, they have to add the date in his debut qualifier as well because it does look like back in like the 40s there was just lax rules
Oh yeah, well
and like
fuck that. Fuck
there
those
was
stats.
there was like 16-year-olds scoring and getting points back then because that's just how it was back then. So it's one of those things where it makes it really hard to keep track of it, but
Yeah, I don't pay
modern
attention to those
day
stats.
he's probably pretty close.
Yeah. But yeah, congrats to Matthew Schaefer on his first career goal and looking like a beast. Yeah, there's a long review with it,
9 minute
9 minutes.
coach's challenge, which thank God they called it a good goal because first of all, it definitely should have been. They were challenging for hand pass, and a guy punched it. Then it went off of like 4 different guys, and then Schaefer pool cued it in. So like, definitely not a hand pass. It just kind of got hit
Yeah,
with a hand. But also, it's just a sick first goal for a first overall player. Like, oh man, that would just blow if they took it away after a big review. Like that, it should have counted, and it did. And for the story, it's so much better that it did.
way,
So
way better.
we got the good ending on that one.
What do you want to dive into next here?
The
Anything
Rangers
jumping out
were
at you?
the first team in NHL history to not score a single goal in their first 3 home games to start a season.
Yeah,
They
Rangers blow. Sucks to be them. Their fans are already turning on the team. Well deserved. It's been a long time coming for them. That's
they're
tough.
2-3 right
Tough.
now, which is pretty good with 3 shutout home losses.
Hmm?
But yikes.
If
One of
only you
those
had a
was a
superstar
1 goal
forward. Oh
game, right?
wait, you have one of those. Oh, if only you had a superstar defenseman. Oh wait, you have one of those. If only you had a first overall pick. Oh fuck, no, you have one of those. Like, it's tough to be Rangers. I don't feel bad for them.
Maybe we should get a new head coach.
Sucks.
Oh wait, we just brought one
Oh
in.
shit, they have that too. I mean, maybe
Maybe
maybe you need a captaincy change. Oh no, yep. Oh no, you have that. You just did that. Oh, like what like sucks. I don't feel bad for him though.
the Rangers, any team bait like not talking about teams like the Islanders, the New York Mets. I'm talking about the Rangers, the Yankees, those big like Madison Square Garden, those like core New York teams. They're very hard to feel bad for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And this is no different, but ooh, I mean, it's hard to feel too bad for Shesterkin, even though he's trying to prop the team up and getting just shelled, and they saving a lot, and the team can't score for him. But he's making a lot more than any goalie ever has. So
Yeah, exactly right.
that's what the money's for.
All right, well, we'll keep tabs on that and see when
I
the
don't even
Rangers
know what that
eventually
team
score at
does.
home.
But I guess you just keep running it until you start winning.
You kind of
Hopefully,
have to.
like you
Yeah,
can't.
that's all you can do. Brady Kachuk out 6 to 8 weeks after thumb surgery. It's obviously a big loss for the Senators, but he will be back in 6 to 8 weeks. Um,
How are the
be back
Sens
in
doing
time for
so
the
far?
Olympics. I think they lost tonight in a shootout, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the point?
They won. They won tonight, so
They're crazy.
they're keeping
They
it
are
rolling.
three
But
and
obviously, it
three
is
now,
a
I
big
believe.
loss. It is obviously a big loss losing Brady Kachuk in terms of what he brings to the team, but it's next man up mentality and time for some guys to show what they can do.
They've got a
In
couple
Ottawa.
of those fringe top 6 guys playing on their third line anyway. So obviously, any team, it sucks to have a top guy go down, but they do have guys that can fit. Second liner goes up to the first, third liner goes up to the second, and they
Well,
can
like
appropriately fill those holes.
A guy like Shane Pinto, as of right now, which kind of a teaser for later in the episode. Currently leading the league in goals with 6.
Yep.
That's something Ottawa needs. So that is a good sign for them that they've already got at least one guy that's stepping up and taking the charge. I guess speaking of Ottawa, team they made a deal with last year, the Buffalo Sabres, Josh Norris out indefinitely with another injury.
Did they say indefinitely, or is it like just kind of an undisclosed timeline?
I've heard indefinitely as of right now, but again, indefinitely means like
Ugh.
he's not returning at least anytime soon.
Yikes.
Could be like only 4 weeks, but as of right now, like he is out and not expected to return in the immediate future. But it doesn't sound good.
Yikes.
legitimately already might go down as one of the worst trades in NHL history. That one, that being Dylan Cousins and a second round pick going to Ottawa in exchange for Josh Norris and Bernard Docker. Bernard Docker, who was an RFA, and Buffalo let him walk. So Buffalo gave up Dylan Cousins and a second for Josh Norris, who
Why
has
did you
played
have to
3
sweeten
games
the pot
for them.
Why'd you have
And
to
I feel
sweeten the
bad
pot
for
for him?
Sabres fans. I
Jeez.
feel bad for Josh Norris. But on paper, when this happened, it was a horrendously bad deal for Buffalo. It made 0 sense for Buffalo. And they went through with it anyways. And the exact thing happened that everybody was waiting. Well, not waiting, but everybody knew was going to happen when the deal took place.
Josh Norris goes down,
And
and
that's the unfortunate reality of
and
it is the
Buffalo's
signs were there. Buffalo ignored it.
and taking away their on ice performance, which is bad. We know that. The Sabres have a generously a bottom 5 medical department. They do not typically have a great track record of rehabbing injuries, helping guys out. They turned down a surgery for their superstar second overall pick and ended up having to trade him. He immediately got the surgery and won a cup in Vegas. Like, they don't have a track record. So why would they go out and trade for this guy who admittedly is a phenomenal player and a great goal scorer, but you got to be healthy to do that? What made them think that they would be able to get him right, get him healthy, that Ottawa couldn't do? Like, it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense. And you're giving up a big guy in Cousins to do it, who immediately made a great impact in in Ottawa since getting there.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like Josh Norris a lot and I feel for the guy, but if I was an NHL GM, I wouldn't even consider making a move for him because
Yeah,
why would you give up pieces for a giant maybe? And especially when you're a team like Buffalo where you haven't made the playoffs in 500 years. Why would you take a massive gamble where you've got a 95% chance of losing that gamble? It makes absolutely no sense. I feel bad for Buffalo fans. The medical department, from what I heard, apparently is they gave the okay on the deal. They kind of did their homework and they gave Buffalo the go ahead of we think he's
yeah,
fine. This is a good deal to make. Go for it. And look at it now. It's already blown up in their face. He played 3 games since being acquired at the deadline last year for Buffalo before going down, and 1 game this season before going down. So
yeah. It very
it's
much reminds me of
it's awful for them.
it reminds me of the Ryan Ellis deal. Not the one where he recently had his contract sent to San Jose, but when Philadelphia acquired him from Nashville, I believe it
Yeah,
was. And it was like, man, he could be good for them. Probably won't be though. He'll probably be injured forever. And how many games did he play in a Flyers jersey? Like, I think it was like
4,
actually like 4. Yeah.
4.
And now his career's
And
basically over.
and
He's
that
hanging on an LTIR forever because
I will
just
say on that one at
injuries
least,
piling up.
it was a at the end of the day, I mean, you didn't know necessarily that was coming, but it was also kind of a no risk for Philadelphia because they moved out Nolan Patrick, who what did he end
Kind of
up
a
playing?
similar
Maybe
thing.
maybe 20 NHL games since he got traded. Whereas Buffalo, you were giving up Dylan Cousins, who was struggling a bit, but was
Yeah.
still a good player, and it still probably could have fetched you another player out there, or maybe a first round pick that you could have flipped, like take the Vancouver route or something.
You definitely could have got a first round pick
Like
for
Dylan
Cousins.
Cousins goes from being your foundational piece that you were going to build around to you now trade him and you attach a second round pick to move him to get a
They
player
had to
that
pay.
might in his first year and a half might only play 4 games for your franchise. And then who knows going onward from that. And it's not a shot at Josh Norris. It's not a dig at him because I do think he can be an effective player. It is on Buffalo and it is on their management, their
Yeah.
ownership, because
Yeah.
they just keep making these just awful mistakes. And the team has to suffer from it. The coaches have to suffer from it. The fans have to suffer from it. and it's just never ending. It just
But I
continues
just
to happen.
just the never-ending growth of respect for Sabres fans that still show up. Like, I genuinely don't like. I cheer for the Lightning through thick and thin. I like to think, I've never had my team be Buffalo levels of bad. If they had been, I genuinely don't know if I would have given up on them or not at that point. Like, they've gone on losing streaks, sure. I've never seen anything like what's going on there, not even close. Like, I can't even fathom, frankly. Like,
It's
Sharks
bad.
you're a fan of the Sharks, they're going through a rebuild, but at least like relatively quickly there was light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't
Yeah.
poorly managed. The window closed. Now you got to be bad and go in a rebuild. Like, yeah.
And Buffalo
Sa-
did this shit 10 years ago, though. And they're still arguably in an even worse spot.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
crazy part. Is they've already done their rebuild. They already went through that process 10 years ago.
their last
And
playoff
they got nothing to show
performance.
for it.
Their last time they were in the playoffs, that game happened closer to 9/11 than today. It was closer to that
Yeah.
than that game is to current day by I think 2 or 3 years because it was in 2011. Like,
Yeah.
Sabres fans are a
It's
different
bad.
breed for showing up. Could you imagine being a
It's
season ticket holder? Well, you're
uh,
probably saving money compared to ticket holders in other places, I guess, but
that is true. It is rough. But
they're
we'll
on a
leave
one-game
Buffalo
win
alone
streak.
for now. Well, there's that at least. They've already had hard
One
enough.
and 1-3.
Hit us with our next topic here.
Utah, another team that kind of feels like they fleeced Buffalo a little bit in the trade recently.
No, they
Um,
didn't.
much better deal for the Sabres than most of their other deals. But Utah has announced their official mascot. Finally, they have Tusky as their official mascot. For those who haven't seen it, you could probably assume what he looks like. He is a big old mammoth. He is a much bigger than I would have thought nose, this huge trunk, and it is fantastic design. I would love to know your thoughts on it, but frankly, for me, it's like it's got to be like a 9 out of 10 mascot
Let me look it
off
up
the
here for a
bat.
sec.
Just
Well,
based
first
on
of
the
all,
look,
it's
I
no
love
gritty.
it.
It's no gritty. Let me get wrong.
That's why it's a 9.
Yeah. So I don't mind it. I did kind of find it funny that Nashville continues to poke fun at Utah for continuing to copy them in many aspects. Obviously, kind of not the same, but kind of similar, kind of logo style type of thing.
Yeah,
If you know, you know. If you know logos, you can see it. If you don't, tough. I'm not going to explain it. And they kind of do the same with the logo or the mascot. Sorry. Light blue. You got the tusk, kind of similar to their fangs they got. So
yeah,
Nashville's going to continue to poke fun at Utah for copying them, and I think it's funny. But yeah, overall, I do enjoy the mascot. I think it is a good fit for them.
yeah,
Still wish it was a Yeti, but what can
yeah.
you do?
That would have been preferable. This is going to sell a lot of stuffed animals with kids.
Like, could you imagine if they were the Yeti, basically just doing gritty, but he's just a big white fuzzy guy instead? That'd
That
be
would have been
sick.
cool.
That'd be
That would have been
really cool. Yeah. Overall, I like it though. I'm a fan. You know what I'm not a
Yep.
fan of?
What are you not a fan of?
I'm trying to see here. I don't know if it's official or not. The Avs special jerseys they were doing. Have you seen those?
I have not. Are they
I'm
like
trying to see if
throwback
it
jerseys
was.
or are they just alternates?
Yeah, I'm trying to see it here. If it was official. I feel like it was, but I can't find anything that shows that it is official.
Let me
Uh,
get a look. Let me get a live reaction here. Do you think new Colorado Avalanche jersey will give it to me?
Maybe.
Let's
I
find
could
out.
have sworn that it was official, but now I can't find anything that says it's official.
Those just look like regular jerseys to me. Are they the triangles? No, that's
No,
the
it was
third. That's just the
it
third
was like
jersey.
the Nordique like inspired one. But
I am not seeing it.
I see a bunch of rumor things, but nothing's official. But basically, what I can say is, if it does become official and they do
Might be
wear them,
leaked.
I think it's a huge scam. I think it's
You don't like
bullshit,
them?
and I boycott the Avs for that because it's stupid. I said it last year and years prior when Carolina took the Hartford Whalers jerseys and like, oh, we're doing, paying homage to the Hartford Whalers inspired jersey. No, you ripped a franchise out of somewhere. You took it. You get all the success from it. Don't now be like and make money off what you stole from people. That's what I'm at. Wear your jersey, wear your logo. That's fine, but don't, like if Utah came out and they're like, we're wearing Kachina jerseys.
The Kachinas.
Like people be like, oh, that's sick, but Arizona fans would be like, that's our team you stole. Don't wear our shit. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just don't like it. Like, if you're a
That's
team,
fair.
wear your stuff.
So the Avalanche one, is it like a full-on Nordiques thing then?
From what I've been hearing, it sounding like it sounds like it's like the Nordiques logo and everything, but it's just using like Avalanche
The Avs
colors.
colors.
Yeah, which I'm just
that's a weird
I just
middle
don't like.
ground because some teams do it halfway, and I like it. The Sharks, when they did their throwback Golden Seals ones, but it said Sharks in the Golden Seals font, I liked that. I like that it's the Sharks in that styling. When the Hurricanes just use the Hartford Whalers logo and colors, and the scoreboard looks like the Whalers, there's no Hurricanes anywhere there. There's nothing about their current identity. They're just cosplaying the Hartford Whalers. That feels very strange to me. I don't like when they do that. But I do
The only
like when they
reason
take
I
that
gave
inspiration.
the
Like
only reason I gave
the
a
styling.
pass to the Sharks is because it was the California Golden Seals and right in the same area where the Sharks play. So
Right.
that's, but again, like from Quebec to Colorado, and I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Use your shit, make up your own stuff, but I just never like stealing from another franchise that you kind of robbed from a very deserving place, I would say.
What if you didn't rob them? Like, say there's, say next year there's an expansion team in Atlanta, and they have a third jersey or a special jersey that pays homage to the Atlanta Flames. So the Atlanta Flames went from Atlanta to Calgary. So you wouldn't like Calgary doing an Atlanta Flames thing. Would you think it's okay if this new Atlanta team did a throwback to Atlanta there? You wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that would be different.
No, you just stick with the Thrashers, stick with your identity, and don't make money off a franchise that you buried. That's always been kind of my thing. But
Yeah, fair enough.
apparently, from what I've seen, it's not official. So maybe there's still time for the Avs to not do it.
Or it might just, it might be getting leaked. It's pretty hard for these things to not get leaked a lot of the times nowadays. There's so many people involved in the process.
I can't remember a jersey reveal that it's like, whoa, we haven't seen this. It's like, yeah, we saw this like a week ago, buddy. This is nothing special.
We got a lot of them leaked in the preseason this year, especially.
Yeah. But I just wanted to get that little tantrum out of the way, but now we can push forward. Two last things here on kind of the headlining news we got here, and then we'll kind of just chat a bit about some other things around hockey, and then start to get on the road to wrapping this one up. I'll let you just rattle both these off. I don't think there's anything I need to say on either one of these. You can kind of run through them pretty quick, I'd say.
Fair enough. Cam Atkinson retired, I believe, earlier today or yesterday, after signing a one-day contract with the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he spent the majority of his career. And it's always fun. You love to see these guys go back to where they're known best, where the fans appreciate them the most. Just getting that last little hurrah before fully retiring. Great career for Cam Atkinson. He was, I believe, had 40 goals at one point for the Blue Jackets, and on a team that really didn't have a ton of support scoring. So good on
Second
him.
highest
Great
scorer
player.
in franchise history.
Yeah, like that's a that's a franchise that's had, not a ton of great guys, but like who's he behind? Rick Nash? And that's
Yeah.
probably it. So what? He's ahead of Panarin and like some of these other great players. So good on him. Great career. And I believe after he did his because he went out for like a quick lap before the game. I think he was on the like color commentary or an analyst for the rest of the game, which was cool to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, congrats to Cam Atkinson for sure.
And then Nick Foligno is taking a leave of absence from the Blackhawks. His daughter is undergoing surgery related to a heart disease. I believe that they announced they knew about this a couple weeks, maybe a month ago. Best wish to the Folignos. Nick Foligno's a pretty stand-up guy. I was shocked how quickly Blackhawks fans wanted him to be named captain after they got him. Like they had him for like 20 days, and people were like, "This guy should be captain." Like they love him there. Yeah, people love him everywhere he's been. He went and fought AJ Greer 3 minutes into the first game of the season. Uh, at and kind of beat the stuffing out of him too for a Greer being a guy who's kind of known for fighting. Like Foligno is about to turn 38 in like a week. So like he's got that
This old guy.
that old man strength. So great player, and if his daughter's anything like him, her heart's gonna have no problem with whatever's coming towards it.
Yeah. Best wishes to the Foligno family for sure.
But beyond that,
Beyond that, what are some other any other major headlines you wanted to discuss from around the league?
any major headlines? I don't know if there's any big headlines, but there's a lot of guys that are off to really hot starts. There are obviously some that are off to cold starts that it just feels good to have such a wide variety of stuff we could talk about again. Now that everyone's playing games, everything's underway. Like Marchenko's already up to I think 4 goals. You love to see him continuing to score at the rate he was last year. Uh, Eichel's looked incredible for Vegas so far. I believe he's leading the league in scoring so far, and
He's tied with
that's with
Kaprizov currently.
and that's with Mitch Marner kind of not playing bad, but he's not as noticeable as people thought he might be right out of the gates there. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of fun stuff going on right now. Sean Couturier's got 4 points in 3 games. Like a lot of people thought he was kind of a little bit over the hill, kind of cooked at this point. So love seeing him go, kind of going off a little bit like he used to. A lot of guys in Anaheim are popping off. Like there's so much going on.
Yeah, in terms of the standings, the Carolina Hurricanes, currently at the time of the recording here, are playing the Anaheim Ducks. They are the only undefeated team left in the league. After Dallas has lost to Vancouver tonight, Carolina 3-0, only team without a loss. And on the flip
Dallas
side
lost
of
to
it,
Vancouver.
the Islanders just beating the Edmonton Oilers. They secure their first win of the season, which means once again the San Jose Sharks are the only team without a win, despite never trailing in their first 2 games, despite having a lead in both games with about 1:30 left. They find a way to lose both those games in overtime. So the Sharks are still searching for their first win. That was tough. That was a very tough start to the season, but to be expected. Other notable,
Well, it's kind of sold at certain times. It's
yeah,
which, quite frankly,
it
is kind of one of the better situations. That means your players look good. So
yeah, that is very true. Other notable spots in the standings, the Montreal Canadiens, they're off to a great start, 4-1 start the season. Detroit and Boston are both 3-1. Pretty good. The Seattle Kraken
against some pretty decent teams.
2-2. Yeah. Seattle Kraken 2-2. They have yet to lose a game in regulation, which is a good sign. The Nashville Predators 2-1-2. I'm going to throw it in there because that's, you know what, good on them. The
They
Florida
have a good squad.
Panthers,
They just didn't win last year. So, like,
yeah,
it wouldn't be shocking if they were just good all of a sudden.
yeah. The Florida Panthers 3-3, but it is worth noting they started out 3-0. They have lost 3 in a row. A lot of injuries affecting them right now. What else we got here? On the Buffalo Sabres 1-3. Fuck, who's surprised?
They
Not me.
what did they do? Score 2 goals in their first 3 games, and then they popped off for 8 goals the other night against the Sens.
Yeah, they just dismantled Ottawa for their one win on the season. But
Did
hey,
you
you
see
know
their
what?
first power
Win's a
play
win.
goal of the year? I think
No,
it
well, I
was
might have. I don't know. I don't know if
Zach
that's
Benson
my
got
spot.
a nice feed. I think it was from Tage Thompson into the bumper. He's right in front of the net, just skies it way over the net, hits the glass, falls down,
Oh,
back of the goalie's jersey into the net. Like,
hey, sometimes
I
you just need puck luck.
is that more of a Buffalo goal for, or is that more of a Senators goal against? You know,
I think a little bit of both. It's right in
like
between.
it really feels so classic for both of those teams.
It
Just the
it actually
way
really
things
does.
go for them.
It really does. Um, yeah, that's kind of a little just preview of the standings there. Obviously, again, most teams have only played 4 games or so, so we'll keep tabs on it. We'll see where things go. Obviously, some teams are dealing with some major injuries. Some guys are off to incredible starts. We'll see if that continues. But overall, it has been a very entertaining first week of the NHL season. I would say, and I can't wait to just continue to see where things go. And see
The
what chaos is still to come, because again, this is going to be a very wild NHL season with all the new CBA rules and everything. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be really good. I feel like it's more exciting this year with young players too. Like, which
Yeah,
sounds insane because of the Calder race last year, but it feels like there wasn't this amount of rookies making the lineup on the amount of different teams and
and making an immediate
making
impact too.
like a great impact. Like, who is it? Is it no, Brezzo is not a rookie. Who's the rookie that's on Pittsburgh right now who's like playing like one of their better forwards? Like, he actually looks really solid. Like,
Ben
there's
Kindle.
yeah, like he has looked not out of place at all on that team. Like, he's playing better than most of them. Like, he should be in the top 6 if he isn't already at this point. Like, he's been absolutely outstanding. There's been so many of them.
Z
I am
Boyum has
interested to see.
completely changed Minnesota's power play.
Yeah, he's
Matthew
a point
Schaefer,
per
we've
game
already
as well.
talked about. Yeah.
Uh, the Hurricanes have Alexander Nikishin as well, who has been incredible so far, and the only undefeated team so far, 3-0. I know you mentioned. How many games do you think they get to before they overtime loss? Just they don't win a game.
Well, it
Because
depends on their schedule.
last year we mentioned how I think it was you who said often there is, not usually a team that goes on this huge heater to start the year. And I was of the opposite opinion, thinking usually there's at least one team that wins a ton of games and gets out ahead. And last year that was the Jets. They won like what, 8 games before losing one, and then they won another 8 or something. Do the
Looking at
hurt?
Carolina's schedule, it doesn't go much longer.
No.
If they get by the Ducks tonight, their upcoming schedule, and they're on the road right now. They obviously have already played San Jose. They play Anaheim tonight. If they win that, they will be 4-0. And then they play in LA, in Vegas, in Colorado, in
Ooh,
Dallas, and then they go back home to play Vegas.
that would be insane if they went
So
into the barn of Vegas, Avalanche, Dallas, and then went home and beat, who is it, Vegas again. If they
Vegas
win
again.
all of those, that would be nuts. And they're doing
It
that
would be very
entire road
impressive.
trip without Jacob Slavin.
Yeah.
So that is a tough sell
If
because
they can find a
Slavin
way to
would be
pull that
playing.
off,
Slavin would
it'd be
log
very
heavy minutes
impressive.
against those guys.
It would be very impressive if they're able to pull that off. 100%.
So maybe this is one of the years where we see that win streak cap out at a 4 or 5. start the year, which makes it more entertaining. It's a lot more entertaining when there isn't those few, 4 or 5 teams that are 15 points ahead of the rest of the pack. And it's like, we know one of these guys wins the Presidents and they're all locked in. Like, we already know that Vegas, Avalanche, Dallas, etc. are making the playoffs, but, it's a lot more fun when it's a race till at least game 70, 75, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And just searching. Yeah, I think that's about
Man,
it.
this is not how I thought
Huh?
again, teams have played different amount of games. We're only 4 or 5, however many games into the season, but I did not picture the Atlantic Division looking like this. First place, the Canadiens. Second place, the Red Wings. Third place, the Bruins. I would not have guessed
Yeah.
that. Even in this
But it
wacko
obviously
world
is
where,
is very, very early on.
yeah, even in this goofy world where all of them are at the top, still grounding us. Buffalo at the bottom, 2 points.
Yeah. They got to be honest with themselves. They got to be honest with us.
Nobody will cheer
This
hard. Okay, well, plenty of people will cheer harder, but we will be cheering when Buffalo makes the playoffs eventually.
100%, absolutely.
I might have gray in my beard
Um,
at that point, but we
yeah.
will be excited for him.
The NHL, we know this season we'll be going back to the Olympics. There will, at some point, we're supposed to be getting an updated list of who is kind of cut from making the teams and who is still in the running. I think teams. I think it was today or something, or maybe yesterday. They had to submit their list, and I think it was down to now they had to have a group of 44 players or something like that. Um, so
Had
at
to
some
weed
point in
some
the
of
next
them out.
couple weeks, we'll probably get some news on some notable cuts from each team, and we can discuss that. As obviously that'll be kind of a similar last year with the Four Nations. The Olympics coming up, there's going to be lots of news coming out, and kind of the build up to when the official rosters are announced. So something to keep an eye on, something to discuss down the road. But just want to mention that um,
Yeah,
yeah, so some notable names will be cut, and fans will riot, and yeah, that'll all be fun to see in the coming days, weeks. I don't know when it's going to be released, but
probably randomly on a Wednesday or something.
yeah.
They never really plan a specific time for those kinds of announcements. They just show up for some reason. Um,
I don't got anything else. I thought I had maybe some more news, but there's not much. We kind of cut through all the notable stuff, and
yeah, there was a lot to talk about, but also hard to go into detail about a lot of it. Um, Man, it's just great being able to tune in and watch hockey again, man. It's so exciting. I'm so pumped. It's been
yeah,
great. Don't know why
and
the first Friday of the season had 0 games on it. Fix
but
that,
then
NHL.
we did get 32 on the Saturday, so well,
That was
16 games,
nice.
all 32 teams playing. So
Yeah, that was obviously nice. But Friday could have, slipped something in there. Put an original 6 team against somebody. Come on, you
yeah, but how
love
many
doing
how
that.
many people watched Washington and what was it, New Jersey on the Sunday? Fucking no one. No one watched that game even.
Maybe if it was the only game on a Friday night.
Hmm. It's the only game on a Sunday night.
Sundays for the boys.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's how it
Yeah,
goes.
we probably did miss some stuff across this episode, as you know, it has been a little over a week. But hey, you know what? We are back now, Tuesdays, Fridays, and episodes might be a little bit longer, sometimes might be a bit shorter. Basically, we're just going to be covering things on the fly as the NHL season goes. Braden, you are back around this year for the stats leaders, and I think just every
Yes,
Friday you were
sir.
planning on doing them.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
So
need to do
once a week, just kind of give an update of where we're at.
we don't need to be updating every episode, but every second episode or every Friday release at least, might as well do an update. Currently, we'll start with goalies. The current goals saved above expected leader for goalies, because it feels a little little bit more indicative of great play than just save percentage. Igor Shesterkin running away with it. He's already at a 7.4. Remember how we talked about how his team got shut out 3 times? Well, 4 games played, 3 goals against. He's doing pretty fucking good.
He's
If
doing
they
his
can
job.
score, if they can score goals, it's right there. So
He's doing his job.
good
Absolutely.
on Shesterkin. He is more at the moment more than earning the contract that he bagged himself last year. I have listed here Pavel Dorofeyev and Shane Pinto both leading the league in goals at 5. We now know that Shane Pinto scored earlier this evening, so now he is at 6, leading the league.
Dorofeyev scored, so he's at 6 now too.
Well, they're both at 6. They are leaving guys like Kreider and Marchenko in the dust at the moment. But I'm sure they, something tells me Pinto's probably not winning the Rocket, but it's his to lose right now.
Yeah.
And leading the league in points, we have Kirill Kaprizov and Jack Eichel both with 9. In 4 games each, both of them with 4 goals and 5 assists. That's pretty nice. Kirill Kaprizov, very good start after that big contract. Same with Eichel, really. Kaprizov is a -3, despite being 9 points in 4 games. But you're not paying him all that money to be a plus. You're paying that money for 2 points per game, which is what he's currently doing. So good on those fellas for that. That's what else? What else is important? Zach Werenski has 27 minutes time on ice average over 4 games. What a unit! That's goofy.
Who's that? Sorry?
Zach Werenski.
Oh, Werenski.
Decent bit more than anyone else. JJ Moser is averaging 25 minutes as well.
Ryan Reese scored a goal. He's got 1 more than McDavid.
Unassisted goal, burned a defenseman, and dangled the goalie going short side. And then he went and beat the shit out of some no-name chump in a Ducks jersey.
That's a McDavid level goal that Ryan Reese scored.
Yeah.
I just thought we should mention that. I thought that was worth noting because that doesn't happen very often.
It's exactly a McDavid level goal, a highlight reel goal and a losing effort. Like, does it get more McDavid?
Makes you wonder.
But I think that's all the stats we're going to do here. I think for the most part, we're just going to be doing goals saved above expected, points and goals. And if there's any other fun ones, if I figure maybe we'll do penalty minutes if that's funny or something like that. If Kiefer Sherwood puts up 1 million hits again, maybe we'll follow that.
Yeah.
But I believe that is all for the stats leaders. I think you had one more segment for us before we were done.
Yeah, so to wrap up the first episode of this regular season, we are going to do a blind ranking. We haven't done one of these in a while, and I thought it'd be a fun time to bring it back. So, what I have got here is I've got a list of 5 teams, and I've already got them in order. So I'm not gonna be changing anything. They're already in the order that I'm gonna rest them off to in. And it's basically a blind ranking of teams with the best chance to win the Stanley Cup this season, early on from basically week 1 of the season. You're just gonna rank them 1 to 5 on who you think's got the best chance of winning the cup and who's got the lowest of these teams chance to win the cup here. So
okay, I like
get underway here. The first team you have up here, the Florida Panthers.
That is
starting off strong here.
That is a crazy one to go first. To give me right at the start, because obviously if they were healthy, it would be an automatic 1. They've won twice in a row. They lost basically nobody. Why would you have them moved? I could definitely make an argument for 2 or 3, because there's other good teams. They have injuries. This team is just freaking annoying, and I don't think they're going to go away. I'm going to say 2.
You're going 2. All right, I will put the
I
Florida
really want to
Panthers
say number
2.
1, but they have very important injuries, obviously
Yeah, no,
Barkov.
fair. That's exactly why I put him 1 here, to just mess with your head early on. Next team you got here, the Dallas Stars.
That's messed up. That number 1
Don't
spot
forget,
is
you had them picked to win the cup this year.
I did, didn't I? In my mind, I was saving that number 1 spot for the Oilers because of the cheap extensions and deals and all the stuff they've done with a lot of their players. Dallas has looked very good to start the season. They just lost their first game. Ottinger's been good. Wyatt Johnston's been great. Robertson's kind of turning back the clock. I'm going to put him at 1. It's a very solid team.
Putting Dallas at
we
1.
we both picked them to win the cup. So I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I be putting?
I got picked in the last couple of years, so maybe this could be the year. The third team on the list here for you, the Carolina Hurricanes.
4. This
4?
one seems easier.
Nice, quick, and easy 4.
I've got 3, 4, and 5 left. They have a good chance, but also, why can't
got to get through Florida?
Yeah, why can't I picture them winning then? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a great squad. They should be in the mix. Conference finals probably, but
Yeah.
Are they going to beat Florida? Even if Florida doesn't get there, do they beat Tampa, Toronto? If the Sens get
The Atlantic's
hot,
gone to the Cup
Sens,
final
like
6 years in a row, so it's not looking good for the Metro right now.
Teams out of Florida have gone 6 years in a row, so
yeah. The fourth team up on the list here, team you mentioned earlier, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Your Tampa Bay Lightning.
My Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, you know what? Frankly, I kind of really like this spot that I've carved out at number 3. I think they are more likely than the Hurricanes. I think they are less likely than the Stars or the Panthers. I like my list so far. I think I'm going to not like it after this final one, though. I thought there was going to be a mix of high teams and low teams. I think you're going all top teams.
Yeah, you might have put together a perfect list here. At number 5, you have the Edmonton Oilers.
It is the Oilers, and they have to go at 5.
It's not terrible though. Your one thing was all the recent contract extensions are doing, but none of that shit kicks in until next season.
That year.
Doesn't do shit for them this year. So you might have actually put together a perfect list for yourself. To recap it here, you got the Dallas Stars at 1, the Florida Panthers at 2, the Tampa Bay Lightning at 3, the Carolina Hurricanes 4, and the Edmonton Oilers 5. It's not terrible, honestly. That's.
I think it's pretty good.
I mean, again, they're all top teams. Like they are. It is, You have Edmonton at 5, but you could also say, yeah, they have the 5th best odds to win the cup this year because they are all 5 really good teams at the top there. So,
like those.
Well done. I like your list too. I can get.
They're probably round out. Who else is in there? Like they're probably 5 of the top 7, 8 teams to win the cup. So
yeah,
something up there. So yeah,
you're probably missing Vegas and the Avs.
Vegas, the Avs. You could argue the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, Jets. Yeah.
I think that's mostly it. If you're still really high on the Devils to take huge strides this year, but
they got to stay healthy for 2 months, and then I'll hype them up.
That's some wishful thinking from 1 or 2 years ago.
But that wraps up the blind ranking there. We are at the end of this episode here. Again, if you want to talk hockey, if you want to listen to your thoughts on the opening week of the NHL season, any things we maybe missed that you want to talk about, if something happened with your team that we didn't discuss, you can let us know. We'll come back next weekend and discuss, because again, we want to cover everything around the NHL, and we do want to obviously talk about every team. It is tough when there are teams that are very good and teams that are very bad. More often than not, we're going to talk about the good teams unless something went really bad for one of the bad teams. So again, if we missed something, let us know. Any of the socials down below or in the YouTube comments. As we begin a lot of engagement and feedback on the YouTube, you can do so there. Braden, we survived the first week of the NHL season. We survived Thanksgiving. You survived whatever you had going on in
Whatever
your
it
body
was.
there. But it's your favorite time. It's everybody's favorite time. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We're back. We're talking hockey. I am loving it. Thank you to everybody who made it this far to the episode. Thank you for listening to my voice. I know it's still a little bit raspy. It's a little bit lower, and I had to mute myself a couple times to cough there. I'm trying to chipmunk a cough drop over here and see what effects I can get from that. So thank you to Brundi, my co-host here, and to everybody listening who is dealing with that. It will hopefully be completely dealt with by the time the next episode comes out, which I'm excited for. And just very excited to keep talking about hockey as the season gets going even more. And like I said, we got a top 50 list coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, buddy. I don't think we've decided where we're going to release that. I don't know if it's going to be an official episode of the podcast or maybe a YouTube exclusive thing. I don't think we've really figured it out. But hey, you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll figure it out. But that is it for this episode One Fun Time. Hope all of you enjoyed. And as always, and this is a promise, we will see all of you out on the ice on Tuesday next week.